Right now to some other big stories. President-elect Donald Trump is set to be sentenced today in his criminal hush money case. Back in May, a New York jury found him guilty on 34 felony counts relating to falsifying business records. And late last night, the Supreme Court denied Trump's request to hear his attempt to delay sentencing. We brought this to you live. They gave the reasoning that, quote, the burden that sentencing will impose on the president-elect's responsibilities is relatively insubstantial. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News political reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, what can we expect then in today's sentencing? We understand the president-elect will appear remotely.
Yeah, good morning to you, Errol. It's set to be a history-making day where Donald Trump will appear virtually in court around 9:30 in the morning for that sentencing in the hush money trial. That makes him the first former president, incoming president-elect to be sentenced in a criminal trial, and these are felony counts. So we're watching all of this very closely today. Judge Merchan has indicated, though, that this is largely going to be procedural. He says there's not going to be prison time, and the decision that he's making in this sentencing is largely just going to be seen as upholding the conviction and making sure it stays on the books by sentencing former President-elect Donald Trump. But largely, he's not going to see jail time, perhaps even jail fines as well. Donald Trump last night, though, did acknowledge that the Supreme Court declined to take up this appeal that he had put to them at the last second, asking them to really stay the sentencing so that he would not be sentenced just 10 days before he's set to take office. Take a listen to what he had to say here about the Supreme Court and what he's about to go through today as far as sentencing.
So I read it, and I thought it was a fair decision, actually. So I'll do my little thing tomorrow. They can have fun with their political opponent.
Calling it a little thing that he is doing today, a little thing that's quite history-making, as we mentioned. But we are expecting that to happen today around 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that phrase jumped out to me as well. Another big development, Olivia, an appeals court also ruling it will not block the partial release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on his investigations into the president-elect. What does that mean?
Yeah, a lot of breaking news last night. The 11th Circuit Appeals Court saying they are not going to wade in and prevent the release of Jack Smith's report. Now, that report is a large volume of the two criminal investigations into Donald Trump related to January 6th, but also the Florida classified documents case that was thrown out back in July. Both of these cases have been dismissed. So this is really the final conclusion of those investigations. Trump's lawyers have been suing and appealing to make sure that these don't get released. So they will not be released as far as the appeals court. Now it's up to the Justice Department to see whether or not they will be released in the coming days.
All right, Olivia Rinaldi, thank you very much. And a programming note for you all, we will follow this story for you throughout the day. That includes updates and analysis on America Decides and the Daily Report, which you can now watch on Fridays. I'm filling in for Lindsay Reiser tonight, so please do join us. America Decides is on at 5 p.m. Eastern, and the Daily Report begins at 6.